Next, we have Vince. Tripty, who we just heard from, once said that Vince is like the big brother you wish you had. He is so kind. He is so thoughtful. And he's just the best listener I've ever met. But why does that matter in a CEO? Well, he's trying to clean up one of the biggest backwaters in our industry, real estate. Also, but house flipping, a backwater where people are frequently scammed. And Vince is cleaning this up. So let's please welcome Vince to the stage.
Thanks, Dad. All right. So you guys probably recognize at least one of these logos on the screen. The thing they all have in common is that each of these companies has made billions of dollars helping people get rid of stuff that they don't want. Turns out it's hard to get rid of things you don't want, especially if it's something really big or expensive like a house. Now you may be wondering, who wants to get rid of a house? Lots of people. Now it doesn't normally look like this. It normally looks like this, right? And you're also probably wondering, how does a house get in this condition in the first place? Well, there's lots of reasons. But here's a story that we hear fairly often. When Cindy's dad passed away a couple of years ago, he left her a small rental house. And she kept paying the taxes for a while, but then the tenants moved out, and then it got vandalized, and she stopped. And she got overwhelmed, maybe a little bit embarrassed. Problem is, most realtors, they don't want that listing. And the Open Doors, the OfferPads of the world, these companies that we hear so much about, they can't really help her either. They're not set up for these types of houses. Maybe more importantly, though, is that your average house shopper, that's not what they want either. They want something that's move-in ready. Well, this isn't exactly that. I love that joke. Nobody likes that joke like I do. Jeez Louise. All right, I'm cutting it, Aaron. I'm cutting it. So here's what she did. You're not going to believe this. She's driving one day, and she sees one of these. How many of us have seen these crappy little signs? You're at the red light, right? We buy houses. She calls the sign, and guess what? The guy bought her house. He's a house flipper, right? Problem is, she didn't know he was legit when she called him. He could just as easily have been a scam artist, and things could have gone from bad to worse. Sadly, this is the gamble that too many owners of distressed properties are willing to take to get rid of that problem house. Hi, I'm Vince Harris. I am the CEO and co-founder of Hoozip, and a year ago, we launched a platform that is rapidly revolutionizing the way that distressed homes get sold. Just for context, to give you a sense of how big a problem this is, there are 1.5 million vacant houses in this country. Shockingly, I think you'll be pretty surprised to hear this, more than 60% of them, they're on free and clear. No mortgage at all. Well, what about all the foreclosures, right? The banks must own the rest, right? Not even close. Just a tiny fraction. That means that most of these are owned by people like Cindy, right? So what do? Well, our algorithms use consumer data and property data, tax, municipal data to find folks like Cindy or people that we predict may soon find themselves in her situation. And we connect them through the only marketplace of its kind with vetted local rehabbers, fix and flippers, landlords, the folks who buy this stuff day in and day out. And can we just talk about rehabbers for a quick second? Because to me, and I've used this analogy before, they're like little T cells, right? Going into damaged neighborhoods and finding the dilapidated houses and cleaning them up, curing them, restoring them to their highest and best use. Unfortunately, there hasn't really been much innovation in this space, and so the technology available is pretty bad, and I know that because I'm a house flipper myself. I've done 50 houses, and I can tell you what we have available to us by way of technology tools is woefully outdated. And yet, we buy an awful lot of houses. $250 billion every year is landlords and rehabbers buying homes, even with underwhelming marketing technique. Now, to be fair, there are options. You could buy into a pricey franchise and let them do your marketing for you. They'll get those signs up in the air for you. But that's going to cost you about $50,000. And you're still not going to have technology tools to help you with all the other aspects of your business as a house flipper. You know, given how big of a buying power these folks are and the value they provide to communities, we think it's high time for an upgrade. So we built it. And it's a suite of tools to help these guys in every aspect of their business, even on houses that they don't source through us. It's everything from websites to deal calculators to a mobile prospecting tool that lets you be 10 times more productive out in the field. You can stand in front of a house, and in 2 taps, I can tell you, even if it's vacant, who owns it, where they live, show you their Facebook profile. I can also tell you the liens, judgments, any bankruptcies against the property, and their relatives. Creepy, just like Joe's project, right? I know, but crazy helpful if you're out in the field looking for damaged houses. So we are really elevating this business and bringing it into the 21st century. And in the process, bringing transparency to a business that's really been operating in the shadows. In the process, we make money. We sell leads. We collect information from that seller. We gauge her readiness. We gauge the scope of the project. And we sell that lead into our network of rehabbers. If we are successful at marrying up these 2 sides, we get a success fee at close. And since the properties don't qualify for traditional mortgages, we can also help them with financing, and we collect a small brokering fee there. All in, it's a minimum $7,500 fee to us for making those connections. When multiplied by the 900 or so thousand vacant, free and clear houses that we talked about at the start, this is a nearly $7 billion revenue opportunity. Of course, as we also discussed, there's another 500,000 that have mortgages on them. And even that is a drop in the bucket compared to the entire stock of distressed houses in this country. And we've got a plan of attack for them too. But here's where we are so far. Since joining MetaProp, we have nearly doubled our monthly revenue. We have grown our user base by 50%. We have 6,000 rehabbers on our platform right now. Most notably, we did all of that through word of mouth. Zero has been spent on building that community. Going forward, we're really excited about 2018 because this is where we begin to focus on the seller side of that marketplace, finding more folks like Cindy and bringing that inventory online. We launched a small pilot towards the end of last year, and by June, we hope to have consummated 50 deals from our platform. This is a huge opportunity, and we're really, really excited about it. Fortunately, we have what I think, humbly, is the best combination of skills on our founding team to pull it off. As I said, I'm a house flipper, but I also spent over a decade in financial services with some of the biggest companies in the world. I've done over $1 billion in transactions. My partner and co-founder, Justin Winters, is a full-stack developer, has been building large enterprise systems for nearly 20 years. He grew a regional mortgage operation to $25 million in originations. Our advisors include, among others, the president of the largest real estate investment association in the country. We really feel like we've stacked the deck on this one, and we think the sky is the limit. If you'd like to hear more about what we're up to, please come and say hello after the event. Thanks for your time.